Good morning. It is ridiculously early. I'm in Grand Central. It is it just hit 6 a.m. now, and I'm about to get that train, the second New Haven line train of the day, to go up to New Haven to go explore the abandoned Interurbans of southeastern Connecticut. Welcome to Connecticut's fascinating abandoned Interurbans. Here's some history. I am going to get some food, and I'll see you on board the train. The Shoreline Electric Railway's brief but colorful history starts, like all good railroad stories, with an eccentric millionaire. This man, by the name of Morgan Freeman Plant, came from a railroad family. His father had built many railroad lines in the South and Midwest. A native of Connecticut, however, he set his sights on expanding the rail network along the shore of the Long Island Sound, east of New Haven. His idea was to build a trolley line in direct competition with the area's heavy rail lines, specifically the New York, New Haven, and Hartford Railroad's Shoreline and the Connecticut Valley Railroad. Aptly named the Shoreline Electric Railway, or SLERI for short, Plant was granted permission to create this company in 1905 by the Connecticut-led legislature, and construction quickly began. However, this was not just any trolley line. No, this was a true interurban, using much bigger than normal vehicles, having a largely private right-of-way, being constructed with an emphasis on speed, and connecting not only to the small shoreline towns, but also to the fancy resorts in the area. Thanks largely to Plant's generous financial assistance, the railroad quickly constructed its main line from New Haven to Old Saybrook, opening in 1910. Around this time, Plant also directly took control of the system, going from its main financier to its leader. Over the next few years, the line experienced an almost explosive level of growth. In addition to opening branches off their main line to Chester, Deep River, and Ivoryton, the SLERI also purchased the New London and East Lime Street Railway, extending the New Haven to Old Saybrook main line east to Groton. By the end of 1913, the system had also bought out two more trolley lines in the southeastern corner of the state, the Norwich and Westerly Railway and the Groton and Stonian Street Railway. This gave the SLERI around 100 miles of track, a respectable amount for a single trolley company in the trolley-crazed era of the early 20th century. But in 1914 is when Morgan Plant and the SLERI did something truly insane. They bought out the entire New London division of the Connecticut Company, the statewide trolley operator in Connecticut. This gave Plant direct control of over 300 miles of track, with his trolley cars stretching from New Haven in the west to Westerly, Rhode Island in the east, and even interchanging with the streetcars of Worcester, Massachusetts in the town of Webster, also in Massachusetts. This was a tri-state trolley system. The railway looked set to thrive, but soon after, World War I broke out, causing material shortages. However, once again, largely due to Morgan Plant's backing, the lines under the SLERI's control managed to still survive and provide a truly incredible level of service for the next few years, charging only 5 cents for any ride on the entire system, worth about $1.60 today. I'll note that this is not only cheaper than the current seat one-way fare of $1.75, but also this fare would have applied regardless of whether you're doing a short intra-town hop or going from Webster to New Haven, a trip that today would cost as cheap as $6.25. However, the company's heyday only lasted a few years. In 1917, two trolleys on the main line in North Branford slammed into each other, killing 19 and damaging the reputation of the company. That same year, a power outage and threats of a strike pushed the company further and further towards collapse. But at the helm, Morgan Plant kept the company running, believing that eventually his system would thrive. Then, in the fall of 1918, Morgan Plant unexpectedly died, and the company's fate was all but sealed. Without its millionaire backer, it started hemorrhaging money, and an employee strike in July of 1919 pushed the company into receivership. The Connecticut Company retook control of their New London division, and many lines under the SLERI's control tried to survive independently. But the main New Haven to Old Saybrook line shut down in 1923, and the other lines were not far behind. The last trolley on old SLERI trackage ran in 1929. Proposals were briefly made in the 1990s to reactivate some portions of the system, namely the old Norwich and Westerly line, to improve access to the Foxwoods casino. But these plans fell through in favor of a road widening project along Connecticut State Route 2. So, while the trolleys may be long gone, they still played an important role in the history of this region, and many surprisingly impressive remnants still exist. So let's go explore those now! Whoa guys, we're in Portchester, and we are about to cross the Byram River, and you know what that means. It means we're about to enter the land of Ned Lamont. So, Kathy Hochul, Ned Lamont, Ned Lamont. Ned Lamont. Welcome to Connecticut. Grape flag, Ned Lamont. All the memes start playing simultaneously. Ned Lamont. Alrighty, after about 2 hours and 15 minutes from New York, we're here at New Haven State Street Station. So I purposely didn't get off at Union to feature State Street on the channel. That is the Shoreland Line East train to New Haven. If you're wondering why did I get it off at State Street if I'm taking Shoreland Line East, because we're going to Southeast Connecticut, we take Shoreline East, right? Well, unfortunately, we can't take Shoreline Line East, because they changed the schedules about 2 weeks ago, meaning that if I took Shoreline East, I would potentially put myself in danger of missing my connection heading further east, and also definitely miss out on seeing at least one, maybe two Remnants. So instead, we're gonna walk to the New Haven Green and go get the bus east. But yeah, this is New Haven State Street Station. They have Microtransit serial ticket machines. It's very odd. I'll say that. That is the Hartford Line platform. This is the combined Metro North Shoreline East platform. Metro North trains will stop here. It's like, I think it's 4 trains in each direction, maybe 5. It's not very common. It's mostly peak service. There are a couple off-peak trains. And then, as you can see, Amtrak trains that come from Springfield also stop here, as well as, of course, every Hartford line and Shoreline East train. So yeah, that is that. They don't let you buy the free tickets from here to Union anymore, so I'm gonna just walk to the Green and yeah, go do that. All right, fun. New Haven. So I got on the CT trains at 2:01. We left New Haven, did a very short express section over to East Haven, deviated to, not to a Walmart, but past a Walmart to a very badly maintained park and ride lot in Branford. We went through North Branford. We went near where that 1917 crash happened, and then I got off the bus in the town green of Guilford. And so yeah, I'll see you in the Guilford town green. Thank you. 201. Welcome to the Guilford Town Green. Okay, just before we dive into the trolley nerdery, can we just talk about how wonderfully charming this is? You've got like the classic New England housing stock, and it's just great, and I love it. And how can you not love just a classic New England town? Okay, now for the trolley nerdery. So that this street here is called Broad Street, and trolleys would pass through here on their way from New Haven to Old Saybrook. Now, when trolleys did that, they of course served the Guilford Town Green. However, this has more importance, because you may be wondering, all right, but why did you get off here? That's because from here, there was a branch that went out back this way. So, like, trolleys from Old Saybrook could either go to New Haven or go down this branch, which went to Stony Creek in Branford. And why are we going to explore it? Well, because not only does it have some cool remnants, it has one extremely cool remnant that is probably the coolest remnant we will see today. So yeah, you're getting the coolest remnant probably about 5 or 6 minutes into the video, maybe longer with my ending. But yeah, so it's about a 20-minute walk that way to the first remnant, and then we will go and see the second one. So Guilford trolley remnant foaming starting now. Alrighty, so we are on this little residential street called Jacobs Road, and you may ask, what are we doing here? I thought we were going to a really cool remnant, and we are, but there is something else cool here. If I climb from here, you can probably see it better. That driveway, that's the old trolley ride dead way, I think, because I know that these abutments are of an old bridge that was on the Stony Creek branch. It's now someone's backyard, but yeah, these abutments are of the old Stony Creek branch. And yeah, it's kind of impressive to think about that there used to be a trolley running here, but indeed there did. This used to be a trolley line, and it is impressive that a place this rural had a trolley, even in the trolley crazed 1920s. I don't want to get in trouble with the guy who owns this land, so I'm not gonna invade his backyard, but I'll show you from back here. You can see this as well. And if on the off chance that the guy who lives in this house on Jacobs Lane in Guilford, Connecticut is watching, these are old trolley abutments, and they're cool. So yeah, that is that. I love the vibes here. It's like so peaceful. And now we're gonna walk down this way to what may well be the coolest remnant we will see today. Well, folks, we have made it to the coolest remnant on the line. There are two sections. This is the old Mulberry Viaduct. This used to be a much longer stretch that actually crossed the road, but in 2013 they demolished this part. But it is still here. I'm slightly worried that it was going to be demolished because last time the Google Street View car came through here, this section had like construction work being done under it. But if I can cross the road quickly, this is the old Mulberry Viaduct. So this was built in 1910, as that sign says. I think it is now owned privately by whoever owns this house, and it is very cool. So yeah, highly recommend. Oh, that's the Shoreline Chinese train. That's the Shoreline Chinese train. Yeah, that's the reason I couldn't take it, because it got here right when I was supposed to get here. Anyway, yeah, so this was built in 1910, and you may be thinking this is very grand for a trolley line, and yeah, it was. I'm shocked that it held up so well over the years. So yeah, that's the Mulberry Viaduct. Really cool that it's still there. And I think it's great that whoever owns this house probably owns it, and I really hope that they don't tear it down. But I'm gonna just run across here and see if I can get up onto the top part. So let's see about that now. Okay, so I couldn't really get on the other section of the viaduct safely. Also, a note, if you want to come see it, come in the winter or early spring. I filmed this in March, and you could see it quite well. This Google Street View imagery from August shows that you cannot see it very well when the leaves are on the trees. And anyway, after seeing the Mulberry Viaduct, I hopped on an RVT Microtransit van over to Madison, then got on the 641 bus to Old Saybrook, got some food at Old Saybrook with a side of some Amtrak foaming, because it's Old Saybrook, how could you not? And then I hopped on another Microtransit van, also from RVT, but from a different zone, over to the Old Saybrook Powerhouse, which is another cool, impressive remnant of the Slurry system. So I'll see you over at the Old Saybrook Powerhouse now. Welcome to the Shoreline Electric Railway Powerhouse. So this was built in 1908, constructed starting in 1908, finished in 1910, and this was a coal-fired powerhouse that was built along the Connecticut River, which we're right next to. You can see there, to power streetcars. So, no streetcar lines ran right here. If you see that highway bridge, that was built in 1983, replaced a bridge from 1948. But the 1948 bridge replaced a 1911 bridge, which had streetcar tracks on it. So, there were streetcars nearby, but, this didn't directly serve any street lines, rather just generated power for the whole Shoreline Electric, the original part of the Shoreline Electric Railway. So the lines from New Haven to Old Saybrook and Old Saybrook to Chester, as well as the New London and East Lyme Street Railway, which was bought up by the Shoreline Electric in 1913, I think. That ran from New London to East Lyme, through Old Lyme, and then across the river to here. So yeah, it's a pretty big building. There's a marina there. This is, I think, construction because Amtrak wants to replace that, which is the Old Lyme, Old Saybrook bridge over the Connecticut River. But yeah, it's a pretty pretty cool structure that's still here. And the only remaining powerhouse of the Shoreline Electric network. There is one other one in Norwich, but that was not ever under the direct control of the Shoreline Electric Railway. Okay, this is wrong. While this is the only remaining powerhouse from the original section of the Shoreline Electric Railway, that's because it was the only powerhouse on that section. Other lines controlled by the Shoreline Electric did have other powerhouses. There are at least two others, maybe three, but this is also the only one we'll be seeing today, so for the purposes of this video, it's the only one. So, yeah. This is very cool. I'm going to take some foamer shots of it because I've got some time here. And if we are lucky, we may even be able to film a train on the bridge. So, yeah, that's the Powerhouse. It's a very imposing building. And, yeah. So I managed to film a train crossing the old Saybrook Old Line Railroad Bridge. In fact, it was in a cellar. So now a travel montage over to the Hallville Carhouse of the old Norwich and west to the railway, our next remnant. And yes, that does mean that we're skipping the remnants on the briefly Slurry-controlled line up to Webster, Massachusetts, but don't blame me, blame the fact that the Northeast Connecticut Transit District is absolutely incompetent. See you at the Hallville Carhouse! I've made it to Hallville. There's not much in this town. There's a church, a garden center, this park, which I'm going to probably sit in after I film the Trolley Carhouse. There's a church, there's a fire department, and that's basically the whole town. However, this, folks, this is the old Hallville Carhouse of the Norwich and Westerly Street Railway. There used to also be a Powerhouse here, but that was sadly demolished. I think this thing with the power lines, that's the old right-of-way. So the building itself is original. I'm not sure if the interior is. We can probably peek inside. That door looks to be open. But yeah, this wasn't a super major stop even back then. Yeah. Okay, no, the interior is completely gutted. Alright, so right as I filmed the inside clip, a guy yelled to me and asked what I was doing, and I said, I'm filming a YouTube video, this is an old trolley car house, can I film the inside? And he said, no, but he did show me this really, really cool picture of the inside back when it was a car house, with some trolleys in there, including, and this is super cool, a freight trolley, because yes, the Norwich and Westerly ran freight service. So yeah, that was the Hallville Carhouse, beautifully well preserved. If you're in that area, probably worth going to, but if you're coming from New York, it is a schlep to get there. From here, I was heading in the direction of home, but there are still more remnants to see. However, to get out of here, I had to walk to the seat 982 bus and then connect to the seat 108 bus. And if you know anything about seat, you know that layover happened at the Foxwoods casino. And boy, laying over at a casino when you cannot go inside because you're not 18 yet, yeah, it's weird. Alright, well, I waited at Foxwoods just right out here, and it was not that bad. I expected casino to have, to not be so, nice to wait at, but it was fine. I'm assuming that not many people are gambling at 4 p.m. on a random Tuesday in March, but maybe they are, and I just didn't see them, or they went in a different entrance. And anyway, the 108 is coming soon. There are two more trolley things, but we're only truly seeing one. The second one we're going to see from the 108. But yeah. Should be out. There's the bus. Alright, cool. Let's get on the bus. Or, well, yeah, I don't know, because transit seems to think the bus will loop around and come back here. But I don't think the 982 did that, so I'm going to trust that this one I don't think it's going to get on here. Ooh, it's a Gillick. first seat gillig of the day, or the second gillig total. Cool. All right, nice. All right, somehow my phone is able to film through the dots, but if it looks a bit hazy, that's why. We are in North Stonington now. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this, but there's an abandoned, but still there, bridge over the Assekonk Brook that once carried the Norwich and West to the Street Railway. And it should be right about here. Alrighty, so it's very, very hard to see, but in this one freeze frame, I think you can just barely make it out. Because the stone blends in with the trees, it is hard to see, but I have an arrow on the screen right now pointing to it. I think it's there. There's also a much better picture on Wikimedia Commons taken by someone who actually walked into the woods. So here's that now. It does exist. It's very cool, but it's presumably quite hard to access, and also I couldn't do it because the one-way bus is just so infrequent. And speaking of the one-way bus, I took it down to the I-95 and Route 2 Junction commuter lot thing, and then I got the seat hop microtransit from there down to the main street of Mystic. And in addition to being a nice town and where I will get my train back, Mystic also has one last streetcar remnant. So let's go explore the Groton Carhouse. All right, well, I found it. This looks like, I think this is the old Carhouse, because that building up there looks like it could have been the Powerhouse, and they just took off the top when they renovated it. However, this might be the Powerhouse, because that restaurant is called the Powerhouse, which would imply that the thing closest to it is. But yeah, so this is one of these two buildings is the Carhouse, and one is the Powerhouse. They're both now condos. This was for the Groton and Stonington Street Railway, which was built in the early 1910s, came under the control of the Shoreline Electric, and it actually not only extended across the Mystic River to Westerly, but also had a branch up to the old Mystic Village, which is funny because it meant that Westerly, which was then a fairly small town, still is quite small, had 2 trolleys. So yeah, let's hop down and see if we can get any good pictures of this. And then I'm gonna head back into Mystic's downtown and get some food, and then my train is home in about an hour. Fun. Hi, I've come to a different angle to confirm that this is the old Carhouse. There is a picture on Wikimedia Commons that lists this as the Carhouse, which means that building back there, that's the Powerhouse. Cool. So you can't get much of a good view from here, but you can get a great view from on the bridge. So I'm gonna walk back to the bridge. Oh, actually, wait. I think Wikimedia might be wrong. That's the thing. So that must be the Powerhouse, and this is the old Carhouse. One is one and one is the other. Not entirely sure. If you know, leave a comment. Okay, so I think that I was actually entirely wrong. This is Mystic. Over here is where I was. This bigger building, I think this was the old Carhouse, because they're both condos, but this is called the Powerhouse condos, implying that it was the old Powerhouse. And now, if you look on Street View, you can see that building I didn't notice because I was standing right here and I was filming this. But yeah, they've both been extensively modified. And yeah, all right, see you back in downtown Mystic. Apparently, this pizza place, Mystic Pizza, is, well, they say they're a slice of heaven, and also they're like, there's like a film about it. I don't know. But I guess I'll try Mystic Pizza. I am curious if this will be Connecticut style pizza, which I tried in Clinton a couple months ago, or I guess by the time this video comes out, a year ago, and didn't seem very different. But I can pop in here. It does seem a little bit busy, maybe. Unclear. We shall see. Alright, this is an official review of Mystic Pizza. That's good. That is good, yeah. The slices are quite small, but yeah, it's good. I don't know what slice of heaven, but it's good. Guys, I'm so excited to get on my EMD FF unit, barreling down the tracks to a Metro North style high level platform. Wow, I'm so excited because this station definitely has a high level platform, and my train will definitely be pulled by an EMD F unit and not an ACS 64. Hello? Every time I've ever gone through here, I've always remarked at how, like, the curve is crazy. And yeah, the curve is insane. I normally sit towards the back. I think I may, actually, no, that's a cafe car. Alright, I'm gonna sit in this car. I'm gonna sit over here. I normally sit towards the back, but why not towards the front today? Alrighty, cool. Nice. We're on board, yeah. Alright, I'm on the train. I purposely sat on the ocean side because the views are insane. And also, I have an acai. The pizza was tiny, so I got this. There were lots of offs and Mystic, but I think it was the only on. The views are just insane, wow. Alright, the sun, the last rays of the sun are setting, but we are approaching Niantic, and how could I not be a Niantic foamer? It's a legal requirement that when you ride the Northeast Corridor between Boston and New York, or between Mystic and New York, you foam Niantic. Alright, enjoy some Niantic foaming and some nighttime Hellgate Bridge foaming to close out this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Bye!